Hi guys, we are back, and today is a trade deadline episode, and as you can see, we are not 9 games out of the division, so we are going to be sellers, even though we have done better in the last couple of weeks, as you can see there. But yeah, we are 9 games out. We're 4.5 back in the wild card, but I don't think our offense is good enough to compete. So we will be selling off multiple of our guys. I have looked over the league, and I found some trades that I think work out for both teams. For the most part, we will be getting younger. They will be getting older, established players. So the first trade is with the Cleveland Indians. And the first piece we'll be getting is Jose Ramirez, just a nice backup shortstop or a filler shortstop that we can use while we are rebuilding, and maybe can be a bench player in the future. We also got Clint Frazier, a decent outfielder prospect. We don't have many of those, so I had to get him. And the main person of this trade is Justice Sheffield, who has $60K for 8 years left, and he's 1862B. So I decided to get him because he can be in the rotation, hopefully be on the roster for the rest of the franchise at $60K. So that is why we got him in the deal. Now what we are giving them, if that's what we're giving them is Jubal Cabrera is going back to Cleveland. We're also giving them this guy, Bruce Smith. He's a C-level pitcher, but I'd rather Sheffield, so we decided to give them that. Also Bruce Smith, and we also give them a catcher, just to throw it in there, Kurt Castell. So that was the Indians trade. Now the Athletics trade, we get Franklin Barada, who was a part of the Josh Donaldson trade. Nothing too special, just another prospect shortstop, which we do need because all we have is Daniel Robertson right now. We also get Matt Olson, who was a good power hitter first baseman. And in return, we give them, I believe we give them Hak-Ju Lee, pretty much just for Barado. And then we also give them John Jaso here. And also one other piece we give them. Nothing too special. We're just searching for that last guy to give them. Try to make this trade work. We're just looking through, and we decided to give them Logan Forsythe, I'm pretty sure, just because he works. I was thinking about Robertson because we're getting Barada, but then I realized it's better to have multiple people than not. So we tried to give them Foresight, we don't really need him. He's not a part of the plan. So we get Barado and Matt Olson also, which I think is a pretty good trade for both teams. Alright, so that's that. In the last, we have 2 more trades, I believe, to make. And the next one is with the Boston Red Sox, and this is the biggest trade. No, we're doing the Blue Jays trade first. So we're getting Robert Osuna, much like Sheffield. He signed for a long time, $70K for 6 years. What we are giving them is Johnny Venters and James Loney, and that's the trade. And they decide to accept that. They decide to accept the trade. I look over, do I really want to give Loney? But I decide to just do that. So the last trade that we are going to be making is with the Boston Red Sox here, and this is the biggest trade of the day, and the one's going to help us win. So as you see, we get Blake Swihart. I put in Mookie Betts to start, and I give them Jake McGee, as Miles Ramirez, as we did get those other guys in the draft, so I decided to throw in him. And then I also want Brock Holt, so I'm looking for who can I trade to get Brock Holt. Looking at the Jesus doesn't work, so I'm just looking. So we finally find someone, right fielder, and I said I do want Brock Holt. Then I said, do I want Betts or Castillo? And I see Castillo's contract, and for a budget team like the Rays, having $1 million for a player like Castillo for 6 years is definitely worth it. So I decided to go after Castillo instead of Mookie Betts. I'll see if that's a good decision, but that is who I decided to take instead of Mookie Betts, because I could get either one of them. But Castillo's contract is really what made me wanted to get him, just because 6 years left at $1 million for a team like us is definitely something that I would want to do. So that is the trade. That's the biggest trade. Swihart, Holt, and Castillo for McGee, Ramirez, and Joey Butler, who is just a nothing right fielder. We offered to the Red Sox. They accept. And that is the trades that we made this trade deadline. So now we're just looking over the lineup here, deciding what we need. I decided we need to get another reliever up here. I send Osuna down just because he's not ready yet. Don't want to use up his service time, so I call up some other guys. I think I move him to Double-A. And then I think I made Kevin Jepson the closer, and Ferrari goes into the setup role. As for the lineup, I'm just looking. I decided we need to bring up some players and send some guys down. So I sent Swihart to Double A, I believe, just so he tears it up, so his potential gets higher. And I moved that guy to Triple A to balance out the rosters and all. So I do the same with Matt Olson to send him down until he gets better. So I call up Ryan Brent to the majors, just so he can progress. I feel like he's ready. And I leave Castillo down in the minors also. And so yeah, I decided to look at free agents because I need a first base, someone to play first base. Because I don't want to call it Matt Olson. None of the first basemen are really there, but then I realized Kevin Franzen can play first base. So I signed him to a 1-year contract at around 1.6, 1.5 exactly mil. And then I move him over to first base, and he's going to be the first baseman for the rest of the year. And you know, he does kill lefties, so he might stay on the team for a little while longer. And then I just let the computers do the lineup. Decided to go check out what they do. They don't put Franzen in, but that's not really my call. But Brock Holt's right there batting second. So our team is pretty bad right now. But that's what we want to do. We wanted to rebuild, and now we're going to get a higher draft pick. We are having around 500 around the trade deadline. I could have made some moves and maybe get in the playoffs, but we don't have a lot of young pieces to move anyway. So I don't know what we really could have done. And we started losing a lot of games here. We're now 60-60, 60-70, and we're 15 and a half games out. So yeah, we're definitely done. But going to the lineup, and Ryan Brandt's not doing good. Brock Holt's doing really good though. Longoria's turning it around. Queermeyer's doing pretty good. Rivera's doing okay. Ramirez is doing okay. Franzen, I thought he'd be killing lefties, but he's actually doing better against righties. Doesn't make much sense, but you know, whatever. And then I'm just going through the things, seeing if any of our prospects got better or worse. None of the guys I traded for showed up in this, so they're just performing average, which isn't the worst thing in the world as long as they keep their potential. So yeah, we're just going here. I think just looking at the prospects we got now. So we got Sheffield for starters. We got Swihart for catchers. We got Osuna for relievers, along with some other guys. Yeah, we got Swihart there. We got Matt Olson, who I think is going to be sort of like an Adam Dunn type, strike out a lot, but hit a lot of home runs. So I see Ryan Brandt is going down, and Franklin lost his B potential. So I decided to swap them, just so Brent doesn't get any worse. And Franklin, now that he's a C, is not as useful to me, so I just call him up. Yeah, we still do need some left field prospects. We got this Castillo in center, and we got Queermeyer in right field. But yeah, that's going to do it for this episode. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe. Bye, guys.